4,000 years ago in the plains of Shinar, the survivors of the Great Purge that carried that original light, they spoke one lip, a universal vibration that allowed them to communicate directly from soul to soul. In Genesis 11:1, it says, "And the whole earth was one language and one speech." This wasn't just words, it was a unified frequency. Because they were in sync, they could manifest reality at a speed that terrified the lands beyond the walls. They began to build a ziggurat, a specific type of tune oscillator. In the ancient tongue, Babel literally means Babelim, the gate of God. The Babel frequency beam was tuned to the exact harmonic of the Van Allen belts. When that beam hit the sky, it caused a constructive interference. It was a literal jailbreak. They were trying to call home to the true source. Babel beam hit the ionosphere. It created a global electromagnetic feedback loop. It hit the ceiling so hard that the entire grid started to vibrate. If you want proof, this ceiling is a physical reality. Look at Operation Fishbowl in 1962. When they detonated the Starfish Prime, it charged 250 miles up. It hit the ceiling and triggered an EMP so violent it knocked out the power grid in Hawaii 900 miles away. From his station beyond the walls, Enlil monitored the energy spike. He saw the sons of light coming together to override his grid. In Genesis 11:6, it records that Enlil panicked. "Behold, the people is one, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do." Enlil, he didn't want godlike neighbors. He wanted quiet laborers. He realized that as long as we spoke that same frequency, the magnetic drag wouldn't hold us. To stop the jailbreak, Enlil didn't send an army, he sent a frequency blast. He used the moon to beam a discordant static into the Earth's grid. This blast hit the saltwater antenna in our bodies and scrambled the neural pathways of our speech centers. Overnight, the one lip was shattered. The people woke up and they couldn't understand each other's vibration. The unified field was broken into thousands of language silos, and the Project of Babel collapsed. Unable to communicate, the survivors broke into small groups, vibrational silos, and scattered to the far corners of the Earth. As they moved into different densities and radiation zones, their biosuits began to change. Enki, the scientist, had pre-coded their DNA with environmental patches to ensure the workforce could survive anywhere. Groups moving to the higher radiation zones had their melanin spec turned up. This is a biological radiation shield designed to protect your internal organs from the sun's harsh frequency after the firmament fell. In the gray north, skin thin to allow the suit to absorb vitamin D, the solar fuel the body needs to function. And features like eye shapes and nose widths, they were triggered as biological filters to protect the sons of light from the desert dust or the Arctic glare. Enlil used this variety to hide our origin. By keeping us in these generic silos, he ensured we would focus on the shell, which is the race, instead of the core, our starfire. He turns Enki's adaptive engineering into a weapon of tribalism. He taught the survivors to fear the different suits, so they would spend their 120 years warring